So let me get this straight. You want me to help you and your buddies, to help beat up your grandson and his buddies because the two of you can't figure out some way to live in the same house?
Well, when you put it like that.
I'm in.
Okay, that was a clip from The War with Grandpa. For more on this movie and the week's other new movie releases, let's bring in Richard Crouse. Hi, Richard.
Hey, Jen, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. You know, this is Robert De Niro trying to do the comedy thing again. What'd you make of War with Grandpa?
Well, there's a couple of things you should know about this off the top. This is in no way related to the Dirty Grandpa movies that Robert De Niro made with Zac Efron. So this one is safe for the entire family. And it's the story of an older guy who can't figure out how to use the self-checkout at the grocery store, doesn't know how to swipe on an iPhone. He's having trouble ever since his wife passed away. So his daughter, played by Uma Thurman, says, "Dad, you got to come live with us." Trouble is, he can't do the stairs down to the apartment in the basement, and he certainly can't do the stairs to the loft up in the attic. So he has to take over the bedroom of one of the younger sons. And the younger son is unhappy and declares war on Grandpa. So what you have here is a movie kind of like Home Alone, you know, lots of slapstick pranks that these two start to play on one another. And the movie is populated by people like Robert De Niro, Uma Thurman, mentioned them both already, Christopher Walken, Gene Seymour, and Cheech Marin. None of those people scream family entertainment when you think of the movies that they've made in the past. But here, it kind of works well enough. I mean, you will not have any surprises with this movie, but as a time waster in the theaters this weekend, it's not a bad one for the whole family. So I gave it 2.5 out of 5 stars.
All right. Okay. Next up is another kid-friendly film, 100% Wolf. Tell us about this one.
This one is playing in theaters this weekend as well. And this one is as if they took The Lion King, The Secret Life of Pets, and maybe How to Train Your Dragon, threw them in a blender and put it on puree. And then the result was 100% Wolf, which is a story about a wolf pack. And the youngest member of it is a human, but they turn into wolves when they come of age. So he's looking forward to becoming a werewolf because werewolves in this story are helpful. Humanity looks to them to rescue them from dangerous situations. So he's looking forward to doing his part. Unfortunately, when he transforms into a poodle, and the pack is not happy about that, and they get rid of him. They bounce him out of there. He has to fight his way back in. This is brightly colored, frenetic. There's a couple of kind of bad pop songs that pop up here and there. But again, for family entertainment, it's the kind of thing you can take the kids to the theater, keep them busy for a couple of hours over the long weekend. I'm not sure that this is a movie that you'll want to purchase for your home use, because if your kids are like any kids that I know, they'll want to watch it about 150 times, and I don't think parents will want to sit through that. So I gave it 3 out of 5.
Any famous voices voicing that? Did you mention?
There aren't really in this one. This one is purely kind of old school animation in the sense that they've used actual animation actors.
There you go. Let's talk about the 40-year-old version, because it just sounds so much like the 40-year-old virgin.
Yeah.
But is that where the similarities end?
That's where the similarities end. This movie is on Netflix right now, and it stars and was written by and is directed by Radha Blank, who is a cabaret performer, a comedian, a musician. And she is playing a character named Radha Blank, loosely based on her own life. She's trying desperately to get a play produced, but the compromises that come along with that aren't all that appealing to her until she realizes it's kind of compromise or nothing. I won't tell you what happens anymore beyond that, but this is a movie that is very firmly centered in New York City, in the hip hop and theater worlds, but it's a very universal story about standing up for what you believe in, about being true to yourself, and it's also super funny. Radha Blank is so charismatic, so much fun to watch in this. That it gets a big recommend from me. This is a 3.5 out of 5 star movie.
Oh, wow. Okay, I love hearing that. Tell us about Yellow Star. That's a drama filled with heartstring-pulling country music. I mean, what country music isn't heart-pulling?
Well, like the music that inspired the story, Yellow Rose it tugs at your heart. It's about a young Filipino girl living with her mother. They live in a seedy hotel where her mother cleans the rooms. The daughter is obsessed with country music and manages to sneak off to a honky-tonk one night to hear a local legend play. When she comes back, ICE has raided the hotel and has taken her mother away, and she plans to be deported back to the Philippines. The daughter's choice: do I stay here and try and make a life here, or do I go back to the Philippines with my mother? She opts to stay, and the interesting part about this is that the struggle that she has leads directly into her writing some very good country songs about the whole thing. This is a really good movie. It's playing in theaters right now. It's timely, but like Roger Ebert said years ago, that the best cinema is kind of like an empathy machine. You hear stories and see stories about people's lives that you never would have seen before. And Yellow Rose certainly does that. It puts you in the shoes of someone whose future is unsure. So it's 3.5 out of 5 stars for me.
Okay. We keyed it as Yellow Star, but you're right, it's Yellow Rose. But it got enough stars to make it a good one, so we appreciate that. Quickly, can we talk about Percy? Because that's a real-life drama starring Christopher Walken.
It is, and directed by the great Clark Johnson. This is the story of a Saskatchewan farmer who fought Monsanto, the big agricultural behemoth. And I won't tell you the end of the story, but it's a legal case, but it's really more about the personalities involved and about this one farmer who just said, you know what, it's not right what's happening to me right now, and took the case to the Supreme Court of Canada. It is an engaging story filled with intrigue, but also will make you think about the origins of the food that we put in our mouths. So I gave this one 3.5 out of 5 stars, and you'll have to go to theaters to see it.
Richard Crouse, film critic and host of Pop Life. Good to see you. Take care. Don't forget, you can catch Pop Life Saturday at 8:30 Eastern right here on CTV News Channel, or Saturday at midnight on CTV. Short break now. Back in a moment.